Krishna Prabhudanat Pranam, All Guru Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So, viewers on the Facebook and who are going to join on Zoom. So, we are fortunate to have His Grace Bhadra Prabhu giving us the last class of 2020. So, we will have a wonderful 2021 next week. So, Prabhu will be giving a wonderful class on a beautiful topic, why bhakti is the most important thing that will help us to self-realize ourselves. So, Prabhu, please take us from here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Still, it's good morning. And thank you for engaging me in the service. This is the last Sunday of the 2020, as you said. So let's hope we are gone in 2020. It was a rough year for everybody on this planet. So let's hope that we pray together that 2020 will be bring the peace and the happiness in the lives of the people. But real happiness will come when we are in bhakti, devotional service. The Lord. So today's topic is, why is bhakti the best means to achieve self-realization? So let me chant the pranam mantras and then we will talk from the different points of view from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmlitamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitamina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padanu Sahagana Shri Lalita Shri Vishakaratam Sa E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutidevi Pranamami Hari Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavijunam Maha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Bhadra Krishna Prastha Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachan Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pashtata Destra Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So first, let's talk about what is self-realization. Self-realization is not something which is realizing that anything. It is connected with the body, but it's not a bodily realization. When Sanatana Goswami met to Lord Chaitanya, first thing he asked is, Ke Ami, who am I? Who am I? That was the first question he asked to Lord Chaitanya. So, to realize self means to realize, who am I? Am I this body or am I a spirit soul? And the body is temporary. Soul is eternal. Body goes through all the changes, 6 changes from birth to death. young age, dwindle, disease, pollution byproducts. These are all the different changes body goes through. And the body is also, there is a subtle body and there is a gross body. Gross body is the 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 gross senses. And the subtle body is the mind, intelligence, and ego. But above this bodily concept, there is a soul, which is eternal. So self-realization is to realize, who am I? What is my constitutional position? So that is self-realization. Now, to realize something, it requires some endeavor. To do something. Realization is not gonna come just like that. Yeah, the persons who, they're wise people, they hear something about something, and then they they don't have to go through the experience. They accept it. But most of the time, people has to go through the experience. So when we're talking about self-realization, means go through some kind of process to realize. So there are different processes. There is a karma, gyan, and there is ultimately bhakti, which is devotional service. So gyan is needed, knowledge is needed. For example, in the material world, take the example of the young man and young girl. When a young girl wants to involve with a young man, she will want to know about that person. She will want to know everything about that person. And she will get that knowledge, she will inquire about everything about that person. But after what? This is it? No. She's going to apply that in the life, means she's going to meet that person. If she likes it, if she thinks that this person is yes, she's going to meet, she's going to talk with him, she's going to know more about him, and she will going to serve. And when the service will be there, then there will be loving relationship. This is a mundane example, material world, but loving relationship will be established. So we as a spirit soul, we have the relationship with the Lord. Everybody has a relationship with the Lord. So self-realization means to know who I am and what is my relationship with the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada nicely puts in the preface of the Nectar of Devotion. He says that at the present moment, we are inventing so many ways to utilize our proper propensity to love, but actually we are missing the real point, Krishna. We are watering all parts of the tree, but missing the tree's root. We are trying to keep our body fit by all means, but we are neglecting the supply to supply the food stuff to the stomach. And this is important because people are performing all kinds of yoga and all that, but they are missing the real point. What is yoga means? Yoga means to connect with the Supreme. That is yoga. See? So here they are forgetting. They are doing all kind of the decline supply. If the food stuff is not supplied to the stomach, then all the senses are not going to work. An example is given, all the senses are going on the strike because stomach is getting everything. Hands are thinking that I'm giving everything to stomach. Legs are thinking I'm going there working hard and bring food ultimately, and that, His tongue is saying, I'm chewing all these things. But the stomach is just enjoying everything. So they went on the strike, and what happened? They couldn't do anything. They just become more weaker and weaker. But as the stomach food was supplied to the stomach, then it was easy. So similarly, the root is Krishna. So if we supply the water to the root, then all the branches and the leaves are automatically nourished. So that's what it's saying. Missing Krishna means missing oneself also. Real self-realization, realization of Krishna go together simultaneously. For example, seeing oneself in the morning means seeing the sunrise also. Without seeing the sunshine, no one can see himself. Similarly, unless one has realized Krishna, there is no question of self-realization. That's what Srila Prabhupada is like. So, to realize self means we have to follow the instruction of the Lord. We have to have the knowledge. And the knowledge comes by following the instructions given by the Lord himself. Because Lord Bhagwan is perfect. And whatever he gives is perfect. There is no question of some addition or subtraction. And that is the religion. What does religion means? Religion means follow the instruction of the Lord. And it's a religion without a philosophy is a sentiment. So philosophy is also needed in the religion. Because if we don't fixed up in the philosophy, then when the trouble comes following the path of devotional service for self-realization, then what happens? We just give up because we sentimentally try to follow. You see. But at the same, it said that philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Means you can have philosophy, but you don't have the process to follow. That becomes the mental speculation. So both are needed. You have religion and philosophy to perform the devotional service, to perform the bhakti. And bhakti means three things. You have devotee, bhakta, you have Bhagavan, and between the Bhagavan and the bhakta is the give and take, means devotional service. That is bhakti. And means that means bhakti and Bhagavan, that means they are persons. You cannot do the bhakti. Bhakta cannot perform some devotional service to person who has no form. Just like between husband and wife, there is a loving relationship. Means there is some service, and she is able to do the service because husband is a person. Husband is not some wall or something. See? So similarly, when we talk about bhakti, means there is a bhakta, Bhagwan, and there is a relationship. Means that relationship is by the devotional service. See, otherwise it becomes. That's why the Gyanis, they talk about the knowledge, but they don't have the bhakti because they don't realize that there is a person. And there is a bhakti can be only, the gyan can be there, but gyan can be applied practically. That is vijnana. Gyan and vijnana. See? And gyan and vijnana goes together. You have gyan, you got knowledge, but then you apply the knowledge practically to realize that person. When you realize that person, you realize yourself because you are also Spirit, soul, eternally part and parcel of the Lord. That's what Srila Prabhupada said here in the Nectar of Devotion. See, so the in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, his whole canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it describes of the glories of Bhakti Yoga. And there are around 10 or 12 points are made. Why the bhakti is why the bhakti is the best means to achieve self-realization. Why? So there are around 9 to 10 points are mentioned in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And let's start with the number 1 point. Why bhakti is the best for the self-realization. So first point is bhakti develops an attachment to the Supreme Lord. Bhakti develops one's attachment to the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is there. Supreme Lord is a person. And by performing devotional service, we can have the attachment with the Lord. Even the cruel example is given in the material world, not in Kali Yuga, but before we know, even in the 50 years ago in Indian villages, still it happens that before girls get married, she has the viva, she come to know first the family of the boy. She goes to the boy's house, not as a wife. She goes to the boy's house and serve under the direction of the boy's mother, right? To know more. And she serves, she cooks for the future husband. There is no physical connection, but she goes, she serves, she come to know. So this way, what happens? There is a loving relationship established by this way serving between the boy and the girl. And then they see each other, and then parents, they decided, yeah, we should get married. So that's loving. So similarly, here bhakti is one attachment to Supreme Lord. Take the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to have from the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto. Dhruva Maharaj was the son of the Suniti, son of the Uttanapad, King Uttanapad, right? And he was not allowed because the king had other wife, Suruchi, and she didn't want this young boy to sit in the lap of his father, Uttanapad. And then, of course, he was upset and she left. He went to the forest. He went to the forest to find. And because his mother, Suniti, told him that, only one person can help. Actually, Suruchi told that if you want to sit on the lap of your father, then you have to born from my womb. And then, but she said, you have to go to the Lord. So then Suniti said, where he was crying and he went to his mother, Suniti, where can I find the Lord? So she said, I have heard that you go to the forest. In the forest, you can find the Lord. So he's going there. And of course, he has a tivra desire to get the kingdom, which is our higher than his great-grandfather, which is Lord Brahma. And of course, Narad Muni comes as a spiritual master, guides him, and he performs tapasya. And in the 6 months, he is having darshan of the Lord. And he's so attached to the Lord that Lord is giving him the benediction that originally you had come to perform, want to have kingdom which is greater than your grandfather. But he said, no, I got you. I don't need that. I don't need the kingdom. Lord said, no, I'm going to give you the kingdom. At the same time, you will be, after some time, you will be coming back. So he got that attachment with the Lord. So bhakti does that. Why? Because he performed devotional service under the instruction of the spiritual master Narad Muni. You see. So that is the bhakti develops on attachment to the Supreme Lord. Okay, second, bhakti avoids liberation. Now, what is this means by saying the liberation? Liberation means this: we are spirits, and we have acquired the subtle body and gross body. So liberate from this subtle body and gross body is the liberation, and come to the actual point, to this spirit soul, and come to the point where spirit soul understand, realize that I'm a spirit soul, I'm a part and parcel of the Lord, and I have relationship with the Lord. Then real bhakti starts. So it says that by practice of devotional service, one burns up one's material subtle body exactly as fire arising from wood burns the wood itself. In the wood, there is a fire. Right? But how that wood is realized fire? By putting the fire. So that by putting the fire, wood is going to be burnt. So similarly, by performing the bhakti, the subtle body and the gross body will dissolve. And we will have the spiritual body, which is the constitutional position, because we are spirit soul, and spirit soul has a spiritual body. So that is real. That is the real. And another thing is liberation from the birth, death, old age, and disease. That is the second point. Third point, bhakti fulfills all desires. And that's why it says, akam sarva kamava moksha kamudarane. Tivrena bhakti yogena. Shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Whether you have a desire, whether you don't have a desire, whatever you approach, Lord. That's why Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita. You see. So, being fixed in a bhakti, one can acquire whatever he wants from the Lord. And by sincere and serious devotional service, the Lord fulfills even material desires. An example is the Dhruva Maharaj. Again, Dhruva Maharaj performed 6 months in the Madhubana. 5-year boy. And Lord not just fulfilled, Lord gave him a darshan, and Lord fulfilled his desire. That's why there is Dhruva star still there, and Dhruva Maharaj is there. And he said, after 36,000 years performing this, then you will come to me. So Lord fulfilled both desires. And he became fixed up in devotional service. So this is what Lord does. The question was that in case of the Prachin King Prachin Pariyasat, this is also for the 4th canto. And in the 4th canto, King Prachin Pariyasat, he was involved he's coming the line of Dhruva Maharaj, by the way, and Prithu Maharaj. But he was involved in the sacrifices, performing all the sacrifices. See. But he didn't know, Dhruva Maharaj didn't know the purpose of the life. And he didn't know the reasons behind the sacrifices. He was thinking that I will get by performing sacrifices, I will build up my heaps and heaps of pious activities. And then I will enjoy in this life and I will enjoy in the next life. That's what he was thinking. See? And on top, he had sent his sons Prachetas to perform the austerities so that they can have the good, so they can build up the good character, and of course they can also have the integrity. Integrity means the person for things you believe, follow that. That is integrity. And when you follow practically, then the high character means that both belief and acting are good. So he wanted that in his sons Prachetas, so that when the Prachetas come back, rule the kingdom, they can be a good character and they can rule because to rule the kingdom required to have a good character and integrity. So meanwhile, King Prachin Parishat was performing the sacrifices and Narad Muni wanted to liberate him. So Narad Muni came there and gave him the whole instructions for so many chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam to him. So, and ultimately, King Prachin Parishat accepted and he left. And he achieved the goal of life. So, he self-realized by the instruction given by Narada. So, bhakti, the fourth, another point. Bhakti removes misery and fear. And this is an important point. Bhakti removes what are the miseries? Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhauti. These are the three miseries, klesha, we all face in this material world. We know what is Adi Bhautik. Adi Bhauti is by other living entities. Right? Like right now, COVID, virus. That is Adi Bhautik. Someone created that and then whole world has to suffer. Right? Adi Daivik is the miseries caused by the demigods. No rain or so much rain, drought, so much cold, or dry, heat, like this, different miseries, or even coming in the Florida, it comes easily, these storms. And Adhyatmik is the cause misery by our own mind and our body. Body gets old, body gets sick. Or if the body is good, then the mind is a problem. So these are different miseries. Now, question might be arise, well, devotee doesn't face this, person who are performing bhakti, they don't face. Yeah, they face. But they have that by performing the bhakti, they have that willpower, consciousness to go along with it. Not take the example of Dhruv Maharaj. 5-year-old boy, young boy, going and taking the bath in the Jamuna every day and worshipping the Lord and chanting the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now, wasn't there tapasya? So yeah, these miseries are gonna, as long Dukhalayama Shashvatam, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Right? So misery is going to be there. But devotees will be able to face this miseries involved in a bhakti. Then he will be able to face those miseries, and devotee will overcome those miseries. He will have the strength, power to do that, spiritual strength. And then the example is fear. We all are fearful in this material world. Anything. Padam padam yati padam natesham. Every minute there is something the material world can bring up, and that causes fear. See? And that's why it says, one who wants freedom from the fear must take to the process of bhakti yoga. Those who practice bhakti, even though participating in family life, are not affected by the results of their actions. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 30th chapter, text 19. So bhakti is not something which is you give up your family life. No, you continue your family life, but add Krishna in your life. In your life and lives of the family members. And then it says that, and whatever action, whatever happens in the devotee's life, and Dukhalama Shashvatam, this particular is full of misery. So many obstacles are going to come. And they come. But when he's in devotional service, practicing bhakti, then he is not as much as affected by the other people. See? So that's what it means here. Then the next one. Bhakti removes material contamination. What is the material contamination? There is a contamination externally, contamination internally. Contamination internally is the most lust, greed, anger, illusion, right? These are the material contamination which we carry from one life to another life. So bhakti is so powerful that can it remove the material contamination. And this is very important. It says that being fully engaged in bhakti, one becomes transcendental to material enjoyment. We all look for the enjoyment. That is our natural constituted position. We want to enjoy. We want to be happy. Spirit soul is bliss, right? Sachidananda Vigraha Ananda, blissful. But unfortunately, we look for that material enjoyment in the material world, look for enjoyment, which doesn't bring us, it doesn't make us, it doesn't bring us real enjoyment. So bhakti becomes transcendental material enjoyment, means everything is used in the service of the Lord. Whatever we do is the service of the Lord. Then we become transcendental, right? Cooking for the Lord and having nice prasad. Decorate the house with Krishna in the center of the house. Play the games, but play the games, Krishna conscious games. Association, we are social animal. Socialize. But socialize with in association of devotees, so keeping Krishna in the center. Talk about Krishna. Discuss about Krishna. That is association. And this all becomes transcendental. Chant Hare Krishna together. By bhakti, one forgets the false conception of I and mine. That is very important. Perform people go to yoga studios, perform the yoga, but they still have the I and mine consciousness. What is that I and mine? I means I am this body, and mine is around me, everything is mine. My wife, my husband, my children, my bank balance, my house, my car, whatever, my relatives, my parents, all this mine. You see, bhakti removes this and come to the real point of the I am a spirit soul. Another in the same bhakti removes material contamination. It says, bhakti yoga burns away all dirty material things like fire. It enables one to see nothing but the Supreme Lord and the pure jiva engage in bhakti. Bhakti frees one from the clutches of the false ego and material conception of life. Those who engage in pure devotional service get free from all material desires. This is under the heading of the bhakti removes material contamination. So this is another point. Another one point. Bhakti awards auspicious qualities. We are spirit soul, and we have all the good qualities. 26 qualities mentioned. We have those qualities. See? But the bhakti is the process which brings out all those good qualities, the devotees. Says that by bhakti one gives up all material activities and Vedic ritualistic performances. And that's what actually Narad Muni was telling to King Prachin Barhisat in the 4th canto. Because he was engaged in all the sacrifices to build up heap and heap of karma, good activities, so he can enjoy this life and go to the heaven and enjoy the next life. But then again, he has to come back. If he even goes to the higher kind of heaven, he has to come back when all the karmas are finished. But the same person, when he's performing bhakti, he goes to the transcendental world, then punarjanmana vidyate, no more birth, death, old age. So that's what he's saying here. One becomes satisfied within. Bhakti awards auspicious means one becomes satisfied with him. Most of the time when people will be in the world, they are not satisfied themselves. People are not satisfied. People want more and more and more and more. Person who is a millionaire, he wants to be a billionaire. The person who is billionaire, he wants to be billionaire. But the bhakti brings person to satisfy within. When the person is satisfied within, then outside is automatically taken care. Then bhakti is fulfilling just as the nectar from the parijat tree satisfies the bee. Parijat tree is there. Bee goes, what the bee does, it goes from one tree to another tree to find the nectar. But the parijat tree is such a tree that bee goes on there, and the parijat tree is satisfying the bee. So bee doesn't want to go to another. Similarly, bhakti is like that. Bhakti is keeping satisfying and doesn't want to go. Bhakti is fulfilled. So that was next one. Superiority of bhakti. Why bhakti is superior? It says bhakti brings greatest success, even material happiness, and afterwards achieve liberation, which is impossible by worshipping the demigods. It is important because when the person is worshipping demigods, they get some material benefit, no doubt about it. But those material benefits are not going to give ultimate liberation, or doesn't it's not going to bring to bhakti. Of course, it depends on your consciousness. At what consciousness, which consciousness we are performing the bhakti, to performing, to worshiping demigods. But most of the time, people worship demigods to get some material benefits. But that doesn't bring the liberation. That doesn't bring the problem, solve the problem of birth, death, old age, and disease. Take the example of Ravana. Take the example of Hiranyakashipu. Ravana performed great tapasya and please Lord Shiva. Hiranyakashipu did great tapasya and please Lord Brahma. But what happened? Of course, they were liberated ultimately by the Lord, by God killed them. But the point was that we, in the material world, there are little Ravanas and little Hiranyakashipus. So we want as well as some material benefits. That doesn't solve the problem. So that's why bhakti is super. Another thing is bhakti. Devotees can easily overcome the hard knotted desire for fruitive activities. But the non-devotees, jnanis and yogis cannot. This is superiority of bhakti. Jnanis and yogis, what is the hard knotted desires? Hard knotted desires are within the heart, hard knot, tight knot between husband and wife. Is a tight knot. By performing the Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, they cannot untie that knot. Bhakti can do that. Because again, in Bhakti, we are dealing with the Lord. And that's what he said. Bhakti means Bhakti means the devotee, Lord, and there is a relationship between the devotee and the Lord, and that is devotional service. That is Bhakti. Another superiority of Bhakti is by unalloyed Bhakti, one is promoted to the spiritual planets. Lord Shiva and other demigods attain their planets after the destruction of the material world. Lord Brahma achieves, or Lord Shiva, after the destruction of material, they can go to the spiritual world. But in this life, human being, we can take up the bhakti process and we can go back right away. We can go back after this life is finished. While the demigods have to wait. When the destruction happens, then they go back. That is the superiority of bhakti. Another one. Without bhakti, all abilities like mental speculation, intelligence, etc. are useless. Mental speculation, as we talked, religion means this following instruction of the Lord means bhakti. And you can have the knowledge, but you don't have the religion, then it's because mental speculation. So that is important. Then another point, why the bhakti? Great people perform or aspire for bhakti. And I give an example of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj attained the Lord's abode in just one lifetime by devotional service. And even the king of heaven is desiring of obtaining ultimately goal of life, bhakti. Even king of heaven, Indra. Brahma is desiring, Indra is desiring, Dhruv Maharaj is desiring. So many examples. Because bhakti can help us go to that. And the last point here is mentioned is the condemned if bhakti is not performed. If a person doesn't perform bhakti, then that person is condemned. And why? Because it says knowledge and detachment are not possible without devotional service. Because if you don't have bhakti, then there is no difficult to have the knowledge and the detachment. Detachment means detachment from the material world and attachment to Krishna, the Lord. And knowledge is knowledge about who I am, what is my relationship with the Lord, who is the Lord, where does he live, what does he do, how does he look. This is all the knowledge which is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we get this knowledge, when we apply bhakti, then automatically detachment from material world comes and attachment to Krishna happens. People who don't take shelter of the Lord's feet suffer in samsara due to anarthas. We know all the anarthas within our heart. And bhakti is the one which can remove all the anarthas. And we go higher on the path of self-realization. So all these points, all these different points, why the bhakti is superior. Now, it says here, says that Bhakti yoga, the process of devotional services, that is the spotless solution. Various personalities in different episodes of Bhagavatam glorify this process as the topmost process for pleasing the Supreme Lord. Bhakti Yoga is glorified in various ways by describing its effects on practitioners, by comparing it with other processes like karma and jnana, by giving the example of successful practitioners, by mentioning how it is dear to the Supreme Lord, etc. And that's what is in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this way, bhakti develops from attachment to the Supreme Lord, bhakti avoids liberation, bhakti fulfills all desire, bhakti removes misery and fear, bhakti removes material contamination, bhakti avoids auspicious qualities, bhakti is superiority, bhakti is superior than any other processes. Great people perform or aspire for bhakti, and purpose persons who are not perform bhakti are condemned. So these are the different regions, different points which are mentioned, and these are the points which gives us understanding of why the bhakti is the best means for self-realization. Okay. So another point, yeah, I think that's what I have. Any question, any comments on this topic? Anyone has a comment or question? Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Prabhu, one quick thing. You mentioned that when Dhruva Maharaj was doing his austerity, you mentioned he was doing that in Madhuvan. Is that also part of the Braja?
Yes. One of the 12 forests. 12 forests in Madhuban is the forest near Mathura.
Thank you.
There is a Dhruvatila is there,
Mhm.
actually, on the top of the hill where Dhruva Maharaj performed tapasya. And there is a beautiful temple of the Dhruva Maharaj. And also Lord Narayan who appeared there. The deity is there, Dhruva Maharaj's deity is also there, that on the top of the mountain.
Thank you.
Bhadra Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Mataji, Dandvat.
All glories to the Orlando devotee and Alachua. My love to each one and every of you. It's been a long time. I'm living in New York now. Oh, yeah. My question is like, if someone started to inquire, like, I'm doing a little preaching, if like don't know about Krishna or anything, but they start to inquiring about Krishna, inquiring about the movement, inquire about our lifestyle. Is that person have bhakti within them that I mean,
Definitely.
if a person inquiring about about the Hare Krishna, about Lord Krishna, about our movement, about
Yeah.
that person have bhakti, came with bhakti when they inquire.
That's the starting, yes. That is the starting of their bhakti. Yeah, because they want to know. Just like Krishna says, 4 kinds of people come to me. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, he says, person who are inquisitive, person who wants to gain the knowledge, persons who are persons who are tired of these miseries in the material world, and the persons who wants money. 4 kinds of people come to me, right? So persons, when they inquisitive about something, they want to know about knowledge more about, that is the starting of their bhakti. Yes, because bhakti is dormant within everybody's heart. Doesn't matter someone is Christian or Jewish or Mohammedans or Hindu, doesn't matter. Bhakti is there within the heart of everybody. It's a dormant state. See? But the people are so caught up in the material world. See?
But like, okay, the people caught up in the material where I understand that everybody come with a karma. They came with karma. Like, we were born in the mood of ignorance until our guru, we inquire and we get a guru and we start to inquire, and then we, they came with a karma, So some people you might, preach to, you try to, I can give you some example. I have this lady in Atlanta, Georgia, Lawrenceville. She was my neighbor. I knew her from New York to Georgia, and she's a millionaire. And I used to beg her, please come to me to the temple. And every week she will promise me that, you know what, I'm going to come with you. And it goes on for months and months and months. And I said to myself one day, you know what? Every Sunday when I go to the temple, on my way, I have to pass her house, then make a right into my home. So I will stop and give her prasadam, give her
Good.
prasadam, give her
Good.
prasadam. So
Yeah.
it go on for months. I given her. I didn't give up on her. But guess what? She one day called me and say, Satya, I'm going to come with you to the temple. I feel so bad that you inviting me, and I always busy because she's a businesswoman.
Yes.
And she came to the temple and she become a devotee. I gave her the prasadam for months,
Yes.
but she become a devotee. So I always tell her, she said, why you bring prasadam to me? I say, I bring prasadam because you don't want to, go to the temple. So the temple come to you. I bring Krishna prasadam. Krishna prasadam is none different from him. So I give you Krishna. I give you Krishna in that form. And that's what happened. And when she first went to that temple, she cried throughout the whole arti. She cried. When we walk in, was the arti was on. So she started to cry nonstop. I had to calm her down. She got so emotional. And she had so much challenge in her life. But this lady she was a millionaire. And guess what happened? In July, she passed away. And when she passed away with a heart attack, she said to her daughter, she having a severe heart attack, and she said to her daughter, please go get me a glass of water. Go get me a tulsi. She have tulsi plant in the home and she worship. So the daughter went. The daughter is an RN. So that is thinking to call 911, but she had to follow her mother instruction. So she went and get the tulsi leaf, and put it in the water. But all the heart attack was so severe that she couldn't chant or say anything. She just said Krishna. She just took the tulsi, put it in the water, Krishna, and she clamped it on her mouth and she passed, calling Krishna name.
All glories to your service.
So now she's trying so hard with her children, because these children have so much opulence in their life, that these children now, only when she passed, she always says, Sati, I want all my family to become Krishna conscious. I said it will happen, but be patient, it will happen. So now she passed, now the children them feeling kind of guilty that mommy, trying to bring us this way. And you get like two of the daughters. One daughter have 5 children. She come into Krishna consciousness. And now the other daughter, she was trying so hard, an atheist, she started to come into it now.
That's what it means. Because as I said, the bhakti is dormant within the heart of all living entities. Doesn't matter who they are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada sparked. Srila Prabhupada put little bit spark, fire of that spark within the heart of the devotees. Doesn't matter where they were coming from. And he made into fire of the devotee's life, right? Fire of bhakti, devotional service.
Yes, when she came to she was so generous giving donation. She get carried, donation. She just giving, and she was impressed with Guru Maharaj. She was so impressed, but unfortunately, she didn't have no got it. She said, I didn't got initiation, but I have heart problem. She tell me. I said, don't worry. Krishna always in charge. He's in charge of every one of us. You do not worry. He's going to take care of you. Your chanting and japa is very, very important. You don't worry about initiation.
Yeah.
Krishna he's have planned for you.
Yes.
If he wants you to get initiation, he will let you get it. And if he wants you to go to him without initiation, he have plans still for you again. He's not going to give up.
Exactly.
And she said, thank you.
Yeah. They say that one who come in touch with Srila Prabhupada, they're not gonna go away. If not in this life, next life, they will come back. That was the power Srila Prabhupada had that. That was the love Srila Prabhupada had and has for the living entity.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, who would want to come at the age of 70 in this Western country? Say living Vrindavan. But because he had a love, he wanted to get out all the people, just like Dhruv, just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj didn't want to go alone. He wanted to take the whole planet with him. So that's where Srila Prabhupada was. He said, I have built a house in which whole world can live. Isn't it?
Yes. So
love
is the biggest thing. Love is so important. It's very, very important. Yes. And bhakti, it's so inspiring, with our soul. It's inspiring me so much, the love. And my Guru Maharaj, because I had went through a spinal surgery. I go through a lot of pain, but I'll be honest telling you, I pray to Krishna. I talk to Krishna. I always have conversation with him. Like you said, my home, right? All over, right, left, center. I have him right away wrong, all over with my painting. My experience, even when I went to take the surgery, the surgeon, they always like early in the morning. I had to take it 7 o'clock in the morning, a spinal surgery where they cut your neck here. And they were like, why are you smiling? Why are you so happy? Everybody, like they have blood pressure and they worrying. I said, no, I'm not worrying, the Lord. But before I told the surgeon, before you touch me, I want you to say a prayer. And after my surgery, I went to his office. I don't know what religion he's from. And he said to me, you know what? I don't know. But he just bowing to me. He's bowing to me. I said, no, you don't have to do that. Then he said, you taught me something in life.
Yes.
And he said, I came from a Hindu family. My parents from India. So I mean, you know, in the room, he said, I just wanted to know why you were so happy. I said, when Krishna ready for us, we prepare to go with him. That I said to him. I said, if anything happened that day, whatever would have happened, I don't worry. I don't worry nothing. I just prepare whatever his desire, because we have desire, he have desire. And his desire is important than my desire.
I'm learning. I have to learn from you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other point anybody has?
I think that is Prabhu. Thank you so much. So we want to wish every one of you on the call, either on Zoom and Facebook, have a wonderful, wonderful, closing of 2020, and have a fresh and energetic and a happy 2021. So thank you all for joining these virtual classes throughout this year. Hope it will become personal very soon. Once this situation settles down. Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.